I'd say I had pretty good timing there. Just finished making all of my online posts. Oh, good evening, chat. Hello, hello. Welcome to day 2. I see that Streamlabs still has no idea how sub counters work. We have 9. I'm pretty sure we're at 10 subs right now. Like 99% sure. Yeah. Well, anyway, speaking of which, thank you once again to Emmy Bun Buns for that. The 9 gift subs yesterday, and to Q for the sub yesterday. I appreciate all of you guys who are now part of the Colbus Corner. You can't leave, at least not for the next month. You're stuck with me. And for that month, we'll be playing Final Fantasy XIV exclusively, even though I'm a variety streamer and I make variety content. So, let me know, by the way. I turned up the desktop audio for 1, so if somebody wants to tell me if that's good or if it's too loud or whatever as we get to that point. And then for 2, I now have like a little portable like desk AC to try to cool me down for the stream, because yesterday it was way too hot and today it's even hotter. So if that gets too loud or is like just egregious to listen to, just let me know. I'm hoping that the audio from the game will overtake the slight background noise of this little fan here. But if it is too loud, I'll just turn it off and cry. Speaking of which, I need to go turn off my AC. That's in the other room, so I'll go do that real quick and be right back so we can start playing the game. Let me go ahead and I'll open the game first. Give me just a sec. That's one less noise we got to worry about. But yeah, I do have this fan blowing literally right at me with my mic positioned right here. So unfortunately, it's probably making a good amount of noise. I'm trying my best to orient it in such a way that it's not at least it's not blowing wind directly into the mic, but the hum of the thing is quite loud. So if it's too much, just let me know. We'll nix it. I'll find another way to cool off. Let's get to it. Whoa, that's way quieter than it was yesterday. Hold on. That is so quiet. Oh! It's because my headphones were turned down. That'll do it. Oops. My bad. I just wanted this open so I can look at MSQ. Yeah. Yeah. We're doing the Charlayan quest chain today. There's 9 quests to do. We're going to do all of them today. It should be quick and painless. I doubt anyone was wondering, but just so you guys are aware, I did go and do that one side quest to get another Aether Current in Thavnir. So that's now out of the way. And I'll be doing the same thing with the Charlayan ones. Any quests to get Aether Currents I can do off-stream, and we'll plan to do off-stream. Because that will be easier for everyone. I won't have to waste time, precious stream time, on that. Hitting the books. An unsettling change has come over Charlayan, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge. We'll see. It is quite loud. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they're willing to divulge, which is why I began scouring Sherlan's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day, but now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right, and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. There's a single fly currently just perusing my desk right now. And the desire to go grab a fly swatter and kill it is incredibly strong. But I'm in the middle of stream, so I will refrain. I like how there's just a forest inside of the city of Sherlan. I find that kind of funny. Trying my best to get comfortable. I'm not actually fully centered right now. There we go. That's a little better. My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you stand now before the doors of Numenon, Sherlan's grandest collection of books and tomes. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that, for the archives of Numenon extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the Great Gubal Library pale in comparison to Numenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Sherlan is free to enter and peruse its shelves. Well, most of its shelves. Only Archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I've dispatched Ishtola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alisei and Alphino will help me to continue my search through the stacks open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Sherlan history or foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let us be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they've finished some promising tomes. Happy reading! Alright. Kirshinan Klava, dedicated bookworm. Kirshi hates reading. Brightly colored books. The story of Sherlan. Read the book. Yeah. Long, long ago, on an island in the northern sea, there lived a Rogadan man by the name of Njunkrip. Njunkrip was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to their horror, the strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Njunkrip's crew hauled them aboard his ark. But the danger had not passed. A towering wave... So Njunkrip is just Moses? Not Moses. Oh my god. Noah. Anyway, danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Njunkrip wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop Abalathia's spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. Saddened by the sight, Njunkrip gathered to him his crew and his grateful passengers and abandoned the ark to those reddened peaks. They journeyed to the coast where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew, and in time it became the city of Sherlan we live in this day. Gotcha. Sherlan, founded by Noah of Noah's Ark. Many years ago, on the banks of Thaliak, this is Roads of Old, the colony. On the banks of Thaliak in the Dravanian hinterlands, a Sherlan colony once thrived. I don't even remember the Thaliak River in Dravanian. This settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th Astral Era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in structure and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Charlayans. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Charlayan colony. The Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Charlayan, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland. In response, some Charlayan inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. Following the exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Idleshire. The following chapters go on to introduce the most prominent features of Idleshire. This book does not appear to contain additional information on the Forum, or cover the history of the Charlayan motherland in greater detail. So that is not one of the books I needed to read. Time-worn tome. That sounds like a good one. Surely this will be an efficient book to read. Stewards of Wisdom. Yeah, that's got to be right. During the chaos of the 6th Umbral Calamity, Archon Jungkrep, founder of Charlayan, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the northern Empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. The Charlayans took to heart the words of their savior and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated knowledge, that's learning. That's an entirely different word. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other. A nation born from strength of minds rather than strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth of expertise could be bartered from wealth of coin, and more their wisdom. I can't fucking read. Wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth and coin, and the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Charlayan would live by their founder's teaching. For the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, they would eschew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. So the thing that we already knew because, what's his fucking name? Forchanal told us. Forever 20 Summers. I somehow don't believe that that's going to be the book I'm looking for. Blue covered book. Introduction to the Heavens. Nope. That sounds wrong. This one is Growing City. Yep. That's got to be it. Surely. In the years which followed the founding of Charlayan, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the Ecclesia, a public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, this format became increasingly impractical. The larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in insignificant delays of vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions, but in the year 201 of the Sixth Astral Era, it was ultimately decreed that Charlayan would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the Forum as we know it today conceived and created. You've gained fundamental understanding of the Charlayan history and the foundation of the Forum. Head outside to the rendezvous point and await your companions. Cool. Glad I didn't accidentally read another incorrect book. Oh, Kirsch wants to do as little reading of books as humanly possible. My throat's still sore from yesterday's stream. Need more voiced cutscenes. Sorry, were you waiting long? I wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alphino and Kryl should also be along shortly. I was delayed in similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mentioned the final days specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes, if they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate, plenty of comfortable places to read, and a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside, but it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were to return to Charlayan, we were not to be allowed across the threshold. A harsh measure indeed. Hope that our efforts to understand this position and that of the Forum will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family, or do they not live here in the city? Well, my situation is somewhat complicated. I was raised in Charlayan, yes, but I was born rather further away. In the southern reaches of Ilzabard, in fact. For generations, my people have dwelt in Corvos, with the coastal region opposite the island of Thavnir. The Alligans found a city in the fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Makote to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and with the Fifth Calamity froze the sea solid. Many of the tribes still living in Corvos braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Allagan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvos under Garlean rule? Indeed. For the past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Amenis. Locus Amenis. Locus Amenis. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus. Oh, shit. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in Allagan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Allagan Eye, no longer passed to our eldest children, was as reliable as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Allag. As the last child born of the Allagan Eye, I was given over to the custody of our friends and the students of Baldessian, who had me registered as a Charlayan citizen. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. I mean, I don't really think it was. That was a genuine question, Alice. What do you mean? Even Thancred was taken in by Archon Louisois, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common among Charlayans than you might think. Yet, regardless of our origins, we're all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspicacity. Perspicacity. What the fuck does that word mean? Hold up. Perspicacity. I pronounced it right. Perspicacity. Or perspicacity? No, perspicacity. The quality of having a ready insight into things, or shrewdness. Okay. Yet, regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspicacity, we outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. 'Tis exactly why I have such a love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Hear, hear. Another good reason to get to the bottom of the Forum's stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books, Kirshi. More company should be arriving any moment now. Making progress. Oh, I gotta wait here more. There's so much reading. This is a long quest. We're starting off with a long one. We've returned with our selections. Although I must say, the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mistress Crowell has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, and more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, We will be looking into research papers on the Umbral calamities, as well as articles written by prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Maybe. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarot firsthand, and fear I may be overlooking critical details. Oh, yeah, good question. That's very smart of you, Kryle. My thanks. Now, where to begin? I'm going to turn this off. I think it's being too loud. First things first, what kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? Complete destabilization of creation magics, primals of unraveled power were summoned from the aether. No, the worst kind of phenomena you can imagine. A complete destabilization of creation magics. The unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Ishtola surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated? Another word I gotta look up. Promulgate means to openly declare, publicly announce, or proclaim. Okay. Was there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? The entire store was engulfed by disaster all at once. They say it began with a keening sound from the land itself. Alphino, you can answer this one. Ah, yes, the Amarotins spoke of it, didn't they? We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of madness. But it seems that each and every one of the catastrophes was preceded by this ominous noise. Eventually, it resounded all across the star, not even Amarot was spared. So the ground was crying out, you say. To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive and probably quite loud. I'll have to speak with one of Nomenon's mammoths and ask after any book which may mention something about making a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? Well, they summoned Zodiark. Yes, with Elidibus serving as his heart. So many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiark brought salvation to the star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set aright. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lives sprouted anew, and it was these fledgling souls they intended to render unto Zodiark, a trade that would allow them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Vinat and her fellows not manifested their opposition in the form of Heidelin. Okay, I'll be just a second. 1 second. It's actually ridiculously loud. It's hotter than yesterday. I don't like it. Hopefully that's not horrifyingly loud from that distance, but fan noise is just going to have to be a part of my stream until I get some kind of better solution, because man, oh man, is it broilingly hot in here. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Talafaroi truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by the unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? This is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return our attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Y'shtola, but 'tis time we began studying these research papers. So it's my turn to wait for Y'shtola. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Everybody studying but Kushi. Hey, Y'shtola. I'm the last, am I? Well, my extended research of the Archon stacks produced one or two possibly useful books, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the source's reflections from the Garoon oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Gabal Library. 'Tis even less likely that knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet, when they confronted Master Forchenal with knowledge of the Talafaroi and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were upon us. Which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Based claim. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of the final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. I know, because I've got 8 more quests worth of it. Made Ryle laugh. Fuck you. God damn it, Y'shtola. Why are you so sassy? You labor for what feels like an age as Y'shtola's research assistant. Okay, cool, Cryle. Oh dear, you look exhausted. What about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subjects I mentioned? Yeah, they sucked. Then the day was all well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a mammoth at the reference desk will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. Ready for a tea break, Kirshi? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around a bit. You know the last stand down in the harbor, don't you? Come and meet me near the outside tables and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. Okay. His name was Giorgio. Giorgio's Bizarre Adventure. Busy as ever, I see. How very Charlayan that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Talafaroi. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? I'll say he's now accompanying you, blah, 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 talk to people, go to locations. Hello, Pironnier. Wait, what? What is it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. You misunderstand, sir. We were simply wondering if you knew of the Talofaroi. These enemies of peace have promised an end to all we hold dear, and... Wait, you're that House Levier girl, aren't you? And this man with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge their barbaric whims, and here you are giving truth to the rumor. I'll thank you to leave me be. I've not to say to the likes of you. Well, fuck you, Pironnier. Well, I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Come, Kirshi. Fucking got him. Is this just going to be every single citizen in all of Charlayan just dogging on Alice? Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Talofaroi and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Miss Levier. My apologies, but I work in the offices of the Forum, and if word reached Master Fortunato that I was helping you... I see. We're sorry to have bothered you. I was correct. They're literally just going to shit all over LSA for the entirety of this quest. Hello, Dickin. Time to speak to a good hard Dickin. Welcome, sir. What can I offer you today? Wait, is that Mistress Hallisey I see there? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickin, the owner of The Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion in between lessons at the studium. That seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Alphino had set sail for Eorzea, but then you never came back. Lately there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything all right at home? It's complicated. And I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. Well, it is House Levier. No matter how discreet Master Fortunato may have been, news of your family's doings never stay secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times? We have questions, and only Charlayan has the answer. Tell me, Master Dickin, have you heard anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days? What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak to me. Wish there was more I could do to help. Maybe there is. You're a visitor at Charlayan, aren't you? Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're setting down the food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for. Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? Kirshi Nunklava, at your service. I did pretzel delivery as my first job as a quester. That's the spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain where each of these dishes needs to go. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelet is for one of our regulars, a Highlander by the name of Jizla. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Behind them, you should see a Makote gentleman. He ordered the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain again. Good luck. Tea set for water's edge. We'll go there first. Oh, my tea set. Lovely, thank you. The Talafa who? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them, or their final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you want to hear about ritual arcane practices of the 6th Astral Era, common or esoteric, then I'd be happy to talk your ear off. Wow. Jizla wanted the omelet. Finally, 2468. Let's dig in, no time to waste. What? The Talofaroi? Ah, yes, I remember seeing the name in the latest Gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days, some old senseless warmongering. When will these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Best to stay out of it, I say. The Forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral. urbane banter with a smile. At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine! You have no idea how long I've scrimped... Oh. How long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. The final days. This is the first I've heard of it. Although that would explain why my friend has been rushed off his feet. Must be a busy time to be a gleaner. What? You don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't got here in Chilean. Priceless books, unusual live specimens, and so forth. So named for those folks who travel after the reapers in the field, picking up every grain which was missed. Aye, by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these Talaferoi make good on their audacious threats, then my uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Then many uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before. Not like this. Excuse me. Good Lord. Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Yeah, everyone talked. They just all said pretty much nothing, except for the gleaners thing. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the forum does have secret knowledge, they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing the part so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised. Yay. But let's enjoy our drinks somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from the gossips and their wagging tongues. It's funny because she feels offended by everyone talking about her. This should do nicely. Out of the wind and out of sight. That coffee is literally black. Actually, that might be tea.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Charlian? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
If you say so, but it kind of sounds like this was his plan from the start, with how quickly he was ready to just tell you guys to fuck off. Your father's kind of a dick.
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
To where?
A vast complex beneath the island.
I see.
Charlian is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well,
Yes, that was
the
the
ones we
only
saw
thing I
mining those
gleaned.
notes. And gleaners answer to the forum.
Is that
If
so?
the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the forum is planning.
Oh. You make a solid point. So we get to go on an adventure. Yay! The reason I bought the expansion. Alright, that's another quest down. 2 down, 7 to go. Labyrinthine Descent. Alice is excited to share your revelations. We should tell the others what we've learned about the Gleaners. Go on ahead to Numenon, and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon will want his cups back. Is the studio. Alright. I hope everyone's having a good day, or has had a good day. It's pretty late at this point, so I guess the day is coming close to an end. But I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome back, Kirshi. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners. And like that, I'm out of water. It makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats. But as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden and significant increase in Gleaner traffic and in cargo, it certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion. Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Ishtilla observed earlier, Numenon's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Kirshi and Alice learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure the most Charlayans know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telophoroi is wholly unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorzea's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on unprecedented scale. I do not think it a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities are in service of the Forum's secretive ends. Yeah, probably not. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. And if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. What should we expect down there? What should we expect down there, actually? That's a good question. Oh, I would hate to spoil the surprise. Fucking... As for myself, there are a few more subjects I should like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. That would be a great help. Thank you, Raha. Based Raha. Always the goodest guy. Fucking love this dude. Let's head down the stairs over there, and I'll show you where the entrance is. Okay. Ready? Labyrinthos is not far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close. Follow Alice and try not to fall behind. Okay. Oh, good. Let me look at my keybinds real quick. don't have a keybind for it. We're gonna set a temporary keybind for that. Hang on, she's saying something. Now we run. Try to keep up. Okay. Doesn't matter now. Keep to the path straight ahead. I assume it's just that way. Up here. To the left, I assume. Yep, there we go. This all seems very necessary, I'll say. The rostra. Not far now. So if I want to get here in the future, I need to go to that particular Ethernet shard, which is the rostra. Here we are, through this door and down the stairs. You did remember to attune to the shard back there, didn't you? It'll make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving. Okay. Down the stairs, down the stairs, down the stairs, down the stairs. Stair eater, do 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 do. We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. All right, everyone onto the lift and down we go. Whoa, what the fuck?
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky.
Huh.
In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms.
Interesting.
A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Thank you, Emmett. Very cool.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing.
I don't
But
know what
I
that
assure
means.
you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
It's pretty dope, not gonna lie.
The
I
island
like
is
it.
volcanic, you see. And once upon a time, this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Gotcha.
Aren't those
So this
people
is what it's like to
demons?
be in Switzerland. Wait, is Charlene based in Switzerland?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
You go, Kryle.
Ugh.
You go have a headache. Take some Excedrin, bro. You
Did
good?
you call to me just now?
No, I did not.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Yeah, I'm sure that's not going anywhere. My boy's got the Magic hand on him. You here to help give me more headaches? Because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chat. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed onto a pile of crates. Now I have a pack of marmots running loose. I see. Somehow I feel like that's probably related to the glorified rat catcher quest that I keep reading the name of over here. Gee. The Rhea seed should be item 1058, cumin seeds 1059, snurbbleberry 1060, or were they 1061? Ah, my head feels like it's stuffed with mocha grass. Why more loads to take out than carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? And what if someone mistakes the coearthan carrots for the Garabonian carrots? What then? The exchange with Teve has taught you about large shipments coming in and out in Labyrinthos. Labyrinthos. I think Alice pronounced it Labyrinthos. Is that who I think it is? Are you a bunny person? No, it's it's a fucking black mage dude. Hello. Can I talk to you? I can't talk to you. I can look at your face. Yay. Anyway, that was cool. Moving on. You want to know what I'm doing? Hauling books and ore and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthos. You know, sort of tidy up the inventory or whatever, I don't know. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. Then, with no warning at all, this mess got dropped in our laps. Orders from on high. Damned if I know the reason. Could be that they're changing the layout, huh? Preparing for the next big expansion. Excuse me. Excuse me again, good lord. Any luck, Kirshi? What tales did the Gleaners have to tell? Womp, womp, womp. I like to imagine that Kirshi literally just has, like, tattered cloth of clothes that he desynthesized a long time ago. He just kind of keeps it in his pocket so he can write notes. So this grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. That would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right. The Forum is definitely up to something, and they're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. Oh, I gotta go... Hello. Where are you? Oh, you're all the way over there? It's so far away. That's okay, I'll probably do that in a future quest. Glorified rat catcher. We would do well to learn more of what specifically the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who is tasked to do them. Or who has tasked them to do it, rather. If you're game, Kirshi, I have an idea. Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. Didn't one of the Gleaners have you questions say something about escaped marmots? Prepared if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. I love that Kirshi feels the need to kneel down on one knee to talk to Kryl. He's just like, you're so small. In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting. I can't stop yawning. Angry. Alright, Aaronville. Give me the scoop. You wish to help me find the marmots? I have nothing suitable to pay you for their services, but if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. Yeah, I can do that, bro. That's literally like my entire job description. The name's Aaronville. specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Nashian marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in a sack. Gently, of course. So, beat them up. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scamper around here, so you'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard, there are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot, or you. I'll research the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. Thanks, bro. Search for grizzled mice and defeat any enemies which appear. Oh, hey, it's a... Oh, it's a troll. The troll, which is definitely not just a Goobboo. Oh, hey, grizzled mouse. How about that? Another one. Chip squeak. No, you bitch. Barely have you readied the sack when the grizzled mouse scampers off into the underbrush. Fuck. We're mice hunting today, boys. Oh, Lord. Lordy Lord. And Lord. And the side of the Lord. On the plus side, this whole AC with the fan on thing is working out pretty good for me. I have not kept sweating since I did that, so that's nice. Hello, grizzled mouse. Okay. Kill him? Kill him? Okay. Ah, like an actual enemy. Noise. Squeak. Get in the sack, you fuck. The road nimbly evades your grasp before once more disappearing into the trees. God damn it! Leave me alone, please. Leave me alone, please. 5 levels above you. Just leave me be. Fuck! Run away! Damn, they got a fucking ass. They got a weird ass. Why am I like this? Yeah, that's what I thought. You've cornered yourself, you buffoon. There's no cave here, only bag. I have to deliver the squirming rat sack to Aaronville. Squirming Rat Sack is the name of my new EP. Oh shit, go get him. They just turn the sun off. when they're done for the night. It's like, oh, it's nighttime now. Let's go ahead and turn the sun off, you guys. Just... That's funny. Hello, Aaronville. Nope, that's not Aaronville. Hello, Aaronville. How'd you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. Well, how convenient. And there's the odd marmot out. Wait here a moment while I put my friends in a holding cage. I forgot to do the voice. I don't really care that much. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. I didn't hear what he said. Who tasked you to capture them in the first place? Why, the authority in charge of the Labyrinthos. Now in the perpetuity. The same officials who've had us working day in and day out. The honorable members of the Forum. Who else? Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Those are the 2 conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the Forum was planned with these creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. There you are, Kirshi. Is this the gleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots? Yeah. Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I am Kryl, the students of Baldessian. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descent to Labyrinthos. We hoped that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. Wise and practical. Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? I like how we have identical hair. Anyway, duty calls. Other animals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Ta-ta! Okay, bye. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? So we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've learned thus far. We also discovered the operation has begun. The Forum contacted the Gleaners' guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days ago, or 4 days after the Telophoroi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but waiting for the right time to put it into effect. And the Telophoroi's declaration was what set into motion? Set all into motion? Seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archaean? The Archaean. Excuse me. From there, we can reach the lower... Ooh, she's getting a noggin blast. Kryl, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it, then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archaean. We follow the path east through the forest where you were chasing after that mouse, or marmot, was it? Anyways, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. I mean, I gathered that much. Now I got a walk to do. I think after I clear this quest, I'm going to take a small break to make myself dinner and grab some more water. I'm actually feeling quite pooped right now, and I think a little bit of food would do me some good. Maybe some caffeine. So far, Endwalker is looking to be just as impressive as Shadowbringers. All the spoilery content from last episode definitely threw me for a loop. I was not expecting to get that much lore dumped in the first stream. That was quite cool. I'm gonna go quickly attune to this Aetheryte, then come back to Alphino. And we may continue from there. Okay. Speak with Alpha now. Sorry. Getting distracted. You. Behold the Archaean. As Numenon services as Charlane's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture, too, is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records for which to describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archaean contains a physical history of Charlane's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Alright, cool. I'm gonna take a little break, you guys. I'll be back in about like 17 to 20 minutes. 17 to 27 minutes. I don't know. It's not gonna take me super long, but yeah. Bit of a longer break than we're used to. Sorry about that, guys. But we're back. I have completely botched making egg fried rice, and thus I have a bowl of slop that tastes pretty good. But it's not egg fried rice. We won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let us proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. I got a Diet Mountain Dew for some caffeine. I generally feel a little bit better, but I'm still quite tired. I found out today that I'm making $19.75 an hour as of the start of this pay period, so that's awesome. That's a lot of money. Considering I work 12-hour shifts and I work upwards of 5 days a week, that's a sizable penny. Condog! Well, hello, friend. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to stream. Greetings. We are here to peruse the Archaon's vaults. Peruse? You're clearly not gleaners, then. Might I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Baldessian, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Sus. Not us, then. I suppose we'd better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that? Ooh. That service has also been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over the conveyance of inventory. Storm screwing with Wi-Fi, so stream stutters. I'm sorry about that, man. So this is as far as we can go? I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded. By that time, it'll be too late. We were so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let us step outside for the moment, shall we? Students of Baldessian. What a dick. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to pursue this one further. But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. It is likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, that's a word, that might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let us ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Best my lower levels. Ah, drinky. I do have my water, it's just in the wrong spot. There we go. Cheers. Thank you for the drinky, Condog. Appreciate you redeeming those thinkies for the drinkies. There's a puddle of emerald right there. Anyone want to talk about that? Bone-weary worker. What's that? Take you down on the lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a gleaner fellow heading out the gate there, shouldering a large pack engaged in some manner of task. How's the stream yourself? I'm doing pretty good, man. I had an 8-hour shift today, which was nice. Nice and short. Not too bad. A little busy, but that's fine. Found out I got a pay raise today, which is what I was rambling about right before I saw your first post. And, yeah, that's about it. I'm broke, but otherwise life's good. Shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down down below after he's done with whatever he's doing. Heading out the gate, yes sir. Bemused student. Am I taking the lift? Oh, no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archaon, even though we found... Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere, but it was wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Oddest little squeal, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archaon is open again. That's, terrible. Search for the pack-bearing gleaner. Oh god. I'm making a mess. It's quite a wide area they're making me search. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's Aaronville. Oh, he doesn't look like he's doing too hot. You good, bud? Quiet. You'll frighten it away. Ah, it's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloudkin I need to capture is very, very close. You wish to help me with this one, too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kind, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green, and its cry a distinctive caw. Not my best effort. Single it out, shoot it with this sleeping dart. I didn't want to read that dialogue because I was eating. Search for your surroundings for the hornbill. Not to be confused with the spoonbill. Whoops. Wait, that's not a caw. No, that's a coo. That's wrong too. I've sedated the wrong bird. I'm bad at video games. A distinctive caw. Motherfucker's got a caw! Are you a quaw? That's a red bird, though. I thought hornbills were green. Yeah, fuck it, why not? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh, wait. Yeah, you! Got him. I want to ask about the leveling in DLC. Sure.
Fair shot.
Oh, hi. Watch cutscene.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up, and I'll make my way over to you.
There you are. Any new revelations?
Wouldn't you like to know? Excuse me.
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. A Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study. Or those we've had difficulty
I like how he
raising.
has the same accent.
But
In
we can't
World of
simply turn
Warcraft,
them
each
loose.
DLC has a level range for abouts when you would start and end them. Is it the same for FF14, or can you level up to 80 then do the DLCs? It seems like the latter. So yeah, it functions the same, where the quests are sort of designed to where they'd expect you to level up throughout them up to a certain point. But you could, in fact, grind from level 1 to 90 without ever touching any of the DLC content. I'm so sorry, guys. Lord, hang on. I'm okay. I promise I'm okay. I just have gas. Can't simply turn them loose.
Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
Oh, below, you say?
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in the
Quite a
secretive
lot
work,
of exposition I
are
didn't
not
want.
permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Maybe.
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
Oh,
What? Why would you say that?
so all the docks are in a line from levels 1 to 90. All the docks. Oh, DLCs.
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance.
Yeah, so and this is where when I talk about what quest level you're on, because the way the MSQ is designed, it's A Realm Reborn is level 1 through 50. Then there's a long stint of quests where it's just level 50 quests where you don't gain any XP. Then Heaven's Word is 51 through 60, or technically it's 50 through 60. Then a long stint of quests at level 60 where you don't gain much XP. Then Stormblood 60 to 70, again a long stint of level 70 quests with no XP. Shadowbringers 70 to 80, again a long stint, and then Endwalker 80 to 90 with the same long stint of level 90 quests at the end where you don't gain much XP. The mindset of those quests being that by the end of the basic MSQ, you would already be at level 90, so you wouldn't need more XP. But when you're reapproaching those quests, I'm noticing that my OBS is having a very hard time with my my RAM right now. I hope that's not affecting stream at all. It says I haven't dropped any frames, so I'll roll with it. But yeah, so it is in fact organized from level 1 to level 90 through the different DLC quests and the main story from A Realm Reborn.
They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations.
It's a noble task.
Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your
assistance.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will, of course, follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Yeah, fair point.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
Thanks for the explanation. Yeah. So, I mean, basically, it's kind of like the
How do you
opposite. There's
feel
no
about
maximum
climb?
level.
If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down.
Thank you, Aaron Bell. Very cool. There's no maximum level aside from obviously the maximum level at the end of the full the current DLC list, which by the time Dawntrail comes out will be 100. But there is a minimum level that you have to be for each quest, and you have to
This
own the
path
DLC
leads
to
the
reach the
33rd
level
facet, a mine
at the
shaft
max of that
excavated
DLC,
during
right?
one of our
So,
expansions of Labyrinthus.
like, I don't currently own Dawntrail, so if I were to keep playing Final Fantasy XIV after July 2nd without getting Dawntrail, I could not progress past level 90.
While I cannot guarantee
But if you
that
own all the
passage
DLC,
is
you
safe
can level to
traverse,
100, no
it
problem,
should provide access to the medial circuit below.
without
I never
doing
even
the
knew such
DLC
a place
content.
existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome. But consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Bro, mineshaft? We are just dwarves and we're digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole. Moving on. Cool. I wonder if that character is going to continue to be relevant, because I feel like I've seen pictures of him online, but I don't remember seeing if they were from different cutscenes other than these ones. Sorry, is that one? The Trogia Files Deep? That's a hell of a name for a location. Leave me alone! Labyrinth Screamer. So that brings another question. How hard are the XP jumps at higher levels? Games where you go from 55 to 56 the same XP as it is from 1 to 40. Honestly, most of it's not that bad until you get like 10 levels up. So for example, I don't even remember the exact numbers, but like the level from level 79 to level 80 was like probably about 3 million XP. Whereas, as you can see, from level 85 to 86, it's 8.28 million. So it kind of, it sort of spikes every 10 levels. I think this is also true at the lower levels, like 1 through 50. Every 10 levels, it gets a little harder to level up, even though 1 through 50 is all of Realm Reborn. But yeah, it's not horribly strict because it scales with the content. There are people that have, for example, played Final Fantasy XIV without leaving Limbs of Limenza, so they got Fisher to level 90 without ever leaving Limbs of Limenza. Which is, you know, so it's possible, it's just time consuming. Slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We would tighten our straps and such before we continue. The biggest thing, Condog, is that the leveling roulette in the duty roulette queue does scale with your level. So you'll get like less of a level each time, but you will still get more XP for every level you have. So like, for example, it took me like 20 leveling roulettes and some other quests to get to level 50 with Conjurer. And then from level 50 to level 60, it only took me about like 15. And that's, you know, that's just 15. Sorry, I meant Black Mage, not Conjurer. I haven't gotten to level 60 with Conjurer yet. But yeah, so Black Mage, I did over 20 leveling roulettes and a bunch of MSQ quests and some other stuff to get to level 50 with Black Mage. And then level 50 to level 60, I did like 15 leveling queues. And that was it. So it scales appropriately. Like you'll do the same amount of work. You're not getting less XP every time you do a leveling queue. It scales with your level, which is why it's nice. It's just, it doesn't scale 1-to-1. As convenient as that would. If it would be super convenient if every time you did leveling queue, it leveled you up. Because then you would always only ever have to do 75 leveling queues to get to level 90. Sorry. Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a tight. I didn't read that correctly at all. Take it slow. Don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel. Survey the area and defeat any enemies that appear. Oh, you are speaking my language. Ooh, weird little shroom boys. I hope they don't attack me. It'd be very inconvenient. Cool. Cool mithril caps. Do they give mithrite? That'd be funny. Fortunately, the storm's royally screwing me over, so I gotta dip, my boy. Well, it's good to have you, Condog. Thanks for coming to the stream, man. I will be here if you are able to get your Wi-Fi back to functioning. Another drinky. Well, cheers. I will. Stay hydrating. Especially with how much I'm talking in these streams, man. I'm going to be ragged. Thankfully, the further we get into the MSQ, the fewer not voiced cutscenes there will be, so. Excuse me? Interrupted how? Give me a thing to bully. And bully it I shall. Really wish my desk didn't rock so much. It's alright though. These guys are kind of terrible. You look ugly as fuck. What enemy are you? You look like the fucking... I know the skeleton, but I can't remember what enemies they are. That's funny. Eerie little shits. Everyone seems to have made it through without incident. Nothing of consequence, at least. And as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Aaronville's assumption holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. Is there like a Ethernet anywhere nearby I could maybe access? No? Okay. Genomoss. Look at his face. That's a hilarious face. You're funny. You're a funny little guy, Gino Moss. Don't mind me while I head the wrong way on purpose. Is this a hunt? That's not a normal enemy, is it? Oh, I mean, if they're doing it, I may as well tag in, right? I assume I can't go in. Oh, I can go in. That's funny. No, it's a fate. Nah, who cares? Is it at least like a high XP fate? It's not. Not even a super fate. Yep, I'm out. See ya. Have fun. Oh, yeah. Couple more quests, baby. Remedial circuit we got. Yeah, this and 3 more. Oh shit. It's the gang. Here they are. Where's the tomato? Oh, they're all down there. Oh. I guess I've joined a fate. I don't think these are part of the fate though. They're not. They're just little guys. It's funny. Oops. Oh, they're doing actually quite a bit of damage to me, I just noticed. These still feel like boss enemies. That's funny. I'll go kill the rest of the tomato gang later. Oh my god, there they are, the low poly grapes. This is Mariel Ergonomics. I'm so sorry for all of that noise. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is in this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Foods so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. 'Tis possible they know of the forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? I mean, why not? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same, or cast about for useful clues. Hell yeah, we're questing. Gather information at Mariel Ergonomics. It's Jibka! Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors, not with the use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? Oh, we took the mine shaft. You know, as you do. The mine shaft, you say? Well, you're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I'd reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the forum has us filling order lists as mall long. Massive yet detailed requests, literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we'd be shuffling around old stock to make room for the new. Then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Jesus. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Imagine being asked to work double, triple workloads and then being told, oh, you'll figure it out. You'll be fine. Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry, and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport, hence the stack of crates atop that hill over there. God's hauling the lot up that slope was a job and a half. I say. Yeah, I say. Harried Harvester, harvesting the grapes. It's the grapes, ladies and gentlemen. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. We did surgery on a grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to a particular locale and the very place upon which Labyrinthos was modeled. Paladin Gonzo redeemed a drinky. Welcome to the stream, Gonzo. How you doing, bud? Thank you for keeping me hydrated. I appreciate that and your well-spent thinkies. It's native to a particular locale and a very place upon which Labyrinthos was modeled. A region in the south of Ilzabard. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north. Doing alright. Good to hear, buddy. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swaths of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. How goes? Good. I worked today. It was pretty long shift for the most part, even though it was only 8 hours, which is actually shorter than my usual shift. Found out I got a raise today, which I'm super, super stoked about, and came home to stream for the next, probably only about an hour left, I think. Such bountiful territory as ever contested, as you might expect, used to be called Corvos before the Imperials named it Locus Amanus. The Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as researchers' ideal environment, one whose climates we strove to recreate with the confines of Labyrinthos. It's since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. I have the silliest hunch all of a sudden. Leave me alone, stray tomato. I wish not for your riddles. No! Leave me be! Oh, hey, a bee. That's got 2 stingers. That's more than one. No, thank you. You know, considering where the aura is, I presume I actually have to go up the hill, but... Oh, yeah, it wants me to investigate the boxes on the top of the hill. That's a scary wasp. I'll kill it, why not? Why not? My throat's a little sore. I think I talked a lot last stream, and I haven't necessarily fully recovered in time for this stream. I'm hoping to give myself more of a vocal rest for tomorrow's, but I do plan to stream every day, so chances are my throat's just gonna be tired every day. There may be streams where I'm less talkative than others, if we're being real. Stacked boxes. The labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings, accompanied by sheaves of reports. What has 5 toes but isn't your foot? Someone else's foot. Or a flower if you think of it weird. My foot. There you go.
Hard to look away, isn't it?
Ardbird, is that you? Oh.
But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion.
Oh, aren't we fancy?
You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true.
I see.
This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders.
Dang, guy is a whole unit. That there is a Rogadin, my friend. They are
Intense
big.
feelings like those
They are
spur
big
the
dudes.
petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy. Dark, subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin.
Oh.
To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration.
You're an interesting guy.
As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Thank you, random Mariol botanist. I should like to know your name someday.
Have you learned aught of interest?
Yeah, I learned about these sick flowers right here.
A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we fail to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Is that so?
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly.
Kryl? Hello? Oh, never mind, that wasn't Kryl. Or maybe it was?
Isn't that the entrance to the arcade?
Oh, hey, it's the guy.
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
Is he about to get shot dead in the
It's a little
streets?
difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
What do you mean, what of the risks?
Ours
That's the whole
alone
point of
there.
this operation.
We won't
Where is
interfere
Sword
with
Baby?
Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice.
Bunnyman's not my main character. He is simply made for the sake of entertainment and content. Kirshin Anklava, which is our pink bunny here, our trans rights Benoy, is my actual main file.
If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
Yeah, I will be doing plenty of Bunnyman Sword Baby content. after this grind is over.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Kryl? You good? You having a time over there, buddy?
Kryl?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
You weren't even paying attention, woman.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly. Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
What are you doing, Kryl? You gonna stay with the flowers?
Almost. I can almost reach you.
Huh? Kryl? You good, friend? I feel like something is going to happen, and I'm not looking forward to it. Is Kryl still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away. Full report, warts and all. Alisay is not about to let Erenville out of her sight. Erenville was headed westwards along the path outside the Archaon. Come, we can still catch him. Oh, he's over there. Can I just jump? I probably can't just jump, huh? No yeeting myself here either, I bet. Oh no, I can. Hog! We're free! Gonna run past one of those spooky hornets again. Got him. Continue this way, eh? Hold a moment, I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta. Logisticon Beta, there we go. One of Labyrinthos's climate control centers. It should have its own lifts, with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If I were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. Oh, but even if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. No kidding. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Ah, fuck. Goodness. Oh, I'm frogged. Unaccustomed to transfiguration. Worry not, it'll wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Rude. Which reminds me, where are the creatures hereabouts? In that form, you are essentially defenseless. Oh great, thanks! Do I at least have a hotbar? Nope, I don't even have a hotbar. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit! Alpha Toad and Alley Toad are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area, blah, 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 blah. I got you. Let's frog. And that's why it's called the full report, warts and all. Because I got toted. Stayed out of aggro range, poggers. This is a great sound to have on stream. This is fantastic. Yippee! Ribbit. Ribbit, ribbit. Alpha Toad attempts and fails to shake his head, but you nevertheless understand what he's trying to tell you is this is the wrong way. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Alpha Toad turns to face the north. Perhaps she is suggesting you cross the bridge. Sounds like she's suggesting I don't cross the bridge. Or rather that I cross the other bridge. Or maybe cross the bridge and then go north. That would be smart. Okay, let's do that. That seems like a wise decision. Is there a way to get up there? Yeah, there is. Now the question is... Oh, that looks like a boss fight area later. Oh god. Oh god. I've entered danger. I am in grave peril. Floop away! Please don't turn around. That would be most cringe. Oh no! Cringe! There it is. Just need this guy to not see me. Perfect. He's facing the wrong way. Oh yeah. I'm gonna break my shit. We did it! Yay! There they are. Oh, hey, it's a forum member. What is the forum member dressed as? Ah, they look terrifying. Interesting.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list.
Yep.
If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlayan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
Is he gonna divulge?
In an age long past, Charlayan was charged with a momentous duty.
No shit, he's gonna divulge.
And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the forum.
Oh, good. So that they can do nothing about it.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
I like you, Aaronville. I like you a lot. Yep.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Fucking got him. I like him. I do. He's great. I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This momentous duty, the Forum agent mentioned. Charlayan has been called to action, and the Talafaroy's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. Yeah, fuck those Charlayan guys, man. That guy of sorts. Hello, cutscene. Alice is staring off in the direction Erenville departed, a thoughtful look on her face. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Ishola and Cryle for the moment, see what they think of this. Well, real quick, I'm going to walk this way to fill out a little bit more of the map. Why not? Good enough for me. 26,000 XP richer. I hope everyone in chat is doing well. I hope y'all are getting enough water. Hope you all have had a good dinner tonight. Really happy to have you on the stream. And even those of you that aren't here, or those of you that are here and are just lurking, appreciate having you here. It's always good to have friendly faces just kind of chilling out, listening to the sound of my illustrious voice. You guys are just here for the Colbus ASMR. I knew it. You guys are just here for the and the Numa, Numa, yeah. Numa, Numa, yeah. Numa, 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 yeah. Cryle's gone. What the fuck is Tola? Why? Welcome back. I entrust you found Erenville then? Well, yeah. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Cryle, then discuss how we'd like to proceed, assuming we find her back at the farm. She was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Back to the flowers. It's a really wide search area game. Kind of fucked. Alexander Raid's music was so good, man. Can't wait to actually do the Sigmascape raids. Oh look, Kryle's over by the flowers. Who would have thought? Alright, Kryle, give me the lore dump. What are you over here for? This better be good. She did it. She's doing it.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
What? Why would I need this for the journey ahead?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Huh? Oh.
Thank you.
Heidelin, you need to stop possessing my homies. Especially when we know your corporeal
Do
form.
not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment.
But of course, okay, copy that.
It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first,
Why did she just get louder?
it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wish that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well.
I didn't realize Minfilia had sacrificed herself.
And another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free, to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That blue
Walk free.
will be your
That's answers
guide.
again.
Test and proof
Nice.
of your conviction. In darkness,
This
seek
game
joy.
really heavily
Surrender not to
rewards
sadness,
paying attention
and see
to what's
beyond
going on.
despair. Walk free and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine till the end, blinding and radiant.
Kryle. Homie.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was, once I took hold of that wispy thread. Imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go.
Fair enough.
Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts. That unusual flower.
That's the name of the quest.
Yes, we are definitely making progress.
Amen.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Oh, hey. It's the guys. Oh, hey, it's the gas. Fuck you.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian. Our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian, a group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact.
So you admit to everyone here that you're full of shit and you're hiding things.
With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
What the fuck?
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Yeah, sure, that's what that looks like. Just so you know, Fortunal, I hate you with a burning passion, and you suck.
One's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse.
You are literally the worst human
But enough.
being.
This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
I have met multiple Asians with more reasonable and noble goals than you. Fuck you, Fortunal. Fuck you to hell. You pretentious twat. Oh, yeah, it's Graha.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings.
Good for you, Barnier.
Master Fortuno, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances. and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large.
That seems a little
Loose
unfair.
In our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
I see Fortunato is still a bitch. Naught has changed in the last 5 seconds.
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Fuck you!
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if
Also,
this
when did
nation
Crow open her
closed
hair up?
every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age-long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
You tell him, Y'shtola. You can sass these fuckers all you want.
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policy-making process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions.
Kinda smart,
At
Graha.
first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
Is that so? We calling them all out? All 99 of these fucks?
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted.
Ooh.
No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility.
And I don't know how I didn't put together that was a very strange road for that place to take.
I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives.
See, the book about Idleshire did matter, because I wouldn't have understood what they were talking about without that. That was relevant information.
Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene.
Indeed.
But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Damn.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Why is he choking? I guess.
We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle?
That was never the fucking
We will
plan.
never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
And just you, right? You're the only ones that deserve to live on.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
I disagree completely.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania.
Seriously?
Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me.
Alphino, buddy, this is not a compelling argument
So I
in
will
front of a
continue,
fucking court.
as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Yeah, actually, a very solid point. Somebody that brought,
Scarlock Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Good.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same.
True. Oh my god, he's
Furthermore,
based.
While our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
He's so right.
Order! We will have order!
Master Monteshane raises some valid points.
Monteshane.
Keeping such concerns in mind,
very based.
I propose we enforce the following measures.
Okay.
Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Charlian. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates.
Okay, that's fair, I guess. Kind of rude, but whatever. Pop
Let's
off,
put
bitch.
this judgment to a vote. All in favor? Raise your hand.
Well, I'm sure Fortuno wishes we just expel us outright, but yeah, that's what I fucking thought, you piece of shit. Fuck you. That's not you. Where are you? Fuck you.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
No, they just follow a basic... There's no, like...
Students, Scions, you have heard
absolvance
the Forum's
threshold?
judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Neat. Very neat. Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom. Alright, one more quest. Let's do it. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Charlayan. Alice has a look of dissatisfaction. I can't imagine why that is. The overall picture is growing clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may. His father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Well, the thing is, you're not his family because he disowned you, because he's a cunt. He's a fucking cunt. Alfino, Alice, it is you. Is it Mom? Is it Mom? When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad you've allowed you to stay. Mom? Oh, look, someone who doesn't suck. Améliance Levieur, at your service. And you fine people must be the scions of the Seventh Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches Father that you are here... Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Fauchenal are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go visit your home. We'll be back at the Annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure Kirshi, what do you think? Go hang out with Mom. Kirshi, the Kirshi Nanclava? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. Whoa, hold the fuck on. Whoa. I was cool with those two going. I don't want to fucking join the Levieur house. I'm really fucking salty with this whole fucking Fortunal bitch. I want nothing to do with his estate. We must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Okay. Kirshi, if you'd be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. What do you mean? And then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. This fucking woman shows up out of nowhere, is Alice and Alfino's mom, looks to me and is like, it's you're the guy. Hey, could you show my kids to their home? You know, my home. You obviously know where that is. My kids don't know it as well as you do, which is why you need to chauffeur them. What? Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. Fuck. I really want Papa Fortuno to show up so I can call him a cunt to his face in front of his wife. I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Kirshi? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us to visit our home? All right. If we're going, then let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room is always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away? Childhood toys? I mean, never mind. The Levieur estate is that way, straight down the stairs. Come on. Yay. The Levieur estate. Oh, cool, I have more fucking things to look at. This time from Alfino and Alice's perspective, instead of Kryl and Grahas. Excuse me. When Alice and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or a servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. True. As children, Alfino and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at the exact moment, come pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. Your father sounds like a turd. Sounds like a helicopter parent. Ironically, a helicopter parent that was ready to give up on you guys at the first sign of inconvenience. Oh yes, this is where I first practiced magic on an actual person. Alice had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite badly, so I tried casting the simple restorative spell, and I had only just learned. However, she smiled when the wound closed. The joy and relief, that was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as the main subject of my studies. That's wholesome. That's really wholesome. We used to come here all the time with grandfather. In summer, I would dip my hands and feet into the fountain and splash about. Not Alphino, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He'd make any excuse to avoid it, which would explain how I came to swim like an auk and he sink like a stone. Hey, he got better. Okay, he got a little better. He's not good at it, but he got better. Alright, it's Emilience. Emilience Levion. What up? And here you are at last. Please do come in. There's all the servants.
Welcome home, my lady.
What? What are you gawping at?
Fuck you! It's a nice house! The Scion headquarters must seem squalid indeed. Just admiring the craftsmanship. I like that one. I don't know if that's the most Kirshy answer, but it's still a funny one.
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
We like Emilience. She's great. Her husband, however, is a massive twat.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
You shan't be long.
Is it going to be their new outfits? Is it going to be their Endwalker outfits? They get a new outfit every single time we go to a new expansion, so. And then there's me.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, only to keep me from worrying.
Yeah, fair.
Yet a mother worries all the same.
Yeah, of course you do.
In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience.
Yeah.
But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
Well, that's wholesome. Aw, they like me.
'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Madam, are you offering me a drink? Because if I could get Alphino and Alice to call me a motherfucker and I can have Fortunal call me a hack, it'd be worth it. I was right. They got their new outfits.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
Wow.
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you
They
have
look so
something
spiffy,
different
don't
made
they?
for Alpha.
I haven't seen Alphino's yet.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become.
And that's a good mother right there. God damn. Also, hi Emmy, how you doing? Good to see you. I was wondering if you were going to make it to stream at some point. You had me worried.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother.
It's aight. What'd it do? Pretty good. I found out I got a pay raise at work. I'm now making a whole $1.50 more than I was last week, so that's cool.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
The local fair. Nice. I hope that went well. Did you get any carnival/fair food? Thank you. I didn't get it for any reason. It wasn't a matter of merit. It was literally just because California raised the rate at which healthcare workers make. But it still feels good. Perfect. And Alphino is now a sage. He just has to learn how to be a sage on a whim because his family gave him the weapons and didn't tell him how to use them.
Are these...
Or maybe they did.
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father.
We're cucking Fortuno out of his sage weapons? Let's go! I hate this man. I want him to suffer every way he possibly can.
Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments.
Got funnel
both
cake,
to
Dole
heal
Whip,
and to
ooh,
harm
Dole Whip,
in no
good shit.
few battles.
Lemonade and a cinnamon
None
roll.
thus did I pull them out of storage.
I skipped dialogue.
To show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
Wink. I really like Emilience. She's great. Another... Bro, you gave Alphino 3 gifts? Oh, I guess the Sage Stone is probably important.
These devices are quite difficult to master. But someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
I ain't wasting shit, even if my husband's being a little shit. True! She's so based. What a good mom. Mom of the year.
We will, Mother. I promise.
I have nothing but respect for Emilience. She is fantastic.
Are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work.
Best mom in the game, 100 out of 10. Yeah, probably.
I may not know the forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Nah, yeah, she's totally right.
Oh, Mother.
I'm opening Discord, so if that pops on the screen,
We shall take your wisdom to heart.
don't fret.
Thank you again.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Discorda.
Whoops. Totally the type of person who says it's easier to say sorry than ask permission. That's true. That's very true. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Anyway, for now, however, it will have to suffice. As will these tokens of home that we carry with us. These gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. Is this the end of the quest? Have we finished the night? It is? Okay. We're gonna go to Baldessian 8. Enjoyed your time with Levieurs, I hope? I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret of the Forum strives to hide. And the flower bequeathed to you by Heidelin is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once we've heard your report from Thavnair, we'll be well equipped to plot our blah 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 blah. Alright. That's it. We did it. 9 more quests down. We are blitzing through this MSQ. From here, it's probably going to slow down a bit. We'll probably be going down to like 6 or 7 quests an episode. But I will be streaming tomorrow night around 8:30 p.m. Same time as I usually schedule for. Tonight I streamed a little bit early, so for those of you that missed it, it's okay. You guys can be here for the next one, and I was really happy for those of you that made it. Thank you for coming, and look forward to future streams. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.